Welcome again to another episode of Inside the Envelope on Make It Make Sense with Shegun. Remember, this is where we discuss diverse topics on academics, life, leadership, and career. And so today we are going to be discussing a topic that is affecting thousands, in fact millions of students, and people are still very ignorant about it. It has been misunderstood by many, and that is learning disorder. If you are someone struggling with writing, reading, calculation, or even staying focused, or you know someone who does, this particular episode is for you. And joining me today is my amazing and beautiful guest. She's an educator and an advocate for inclusive learning. She's here to break down this topic for us, and that is in person of Oluwaferanmi. With all the love and joy in your heart, join me as I welcome Oluwaferanmi to the show. You're welcome.
Hi, nice for having me in the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very happy, very sad to be here.
So let's dive straight into it. Now, if I may ask you, what exactly are these learning disorders?
Okay, specific learning disorders, or they can also be called specific learning disabilities or specific learning difficulties, depending on the term. They are anything that impairs your will to learn, affects your learning process, makes it hard for you to learn. Most times, there are people that you see as slow learners, but then they are due to this different disorders that we're going to be discussing.
Wow. That sounds scary a bit more. Let's see. So, are there specific examples of these disorders?
Okay, so we have specific learning disorder pertaining to reading, that's called dyslexia.
Okay.
Pertaining to writing, that's dyscalculia, and then pertaining to calculating anything that has to be maths, that's dyscalculia.
Alright, thank you. So now, what are the signs that someone has dysgraphia?
Okay, there are various signs that you can use to know that someone has dysgraphia. One of them is if the person cannot write in a straight line, or the person is fond of mixing lowercase letters and uppercase letters together. And also, you know from their handwriting mostly. Some of them have difficulties in controlling anything writing. They cannot even write with a stick or even a pen or any writing tool. And people that write in reverse, some write their D's as B's and their B's as T's, that kind of thing. So those are the signs that you use to know that one has dysgraphia.
Oh my, because honestly, for those kind of people, if they even write maybe in exam, the person marking it right because to read what they've written. That is serious. Have you seen my handwriting before? No, you should not. My handwriting is not, you understand?
Yeah.
But I don't write in reverse. I don't include capital letter in my small letters. But what exactly sets it apart for someone that has an illegible handwriting and someone that has symptom of this dysgraphia? What sets it apart?
People with dysgraphia now, you will know, because from childhood most of them shy away from writing because it's just very difficult for them. It takes extra effort for them to be able to write, and it doesn't have to be for maybe they cannot control their brain is just not processing. Some of them cannot even form letters. They will forget, like if you say write A, they will forget, okay, am I supposed to turn it to the right or to the left? They just cannot assimilate that, okay, I'm supposed to write it like this. It's just not working.
It's looking like something that comes from here, right?
Yes, it has to do with their neural development.
Neural development. That is serious. That is very, very challenging. So how can this be managed?
There are therapies that the person can go for. I think there are specific learning disability centers, like the person can go there and take a therapy. And if they can make special conditions for such a person. Like let's say, okay, you do your exam visually. You know, like the way they do Viva. You take your exams and you just say what you want to say. You don't have to write it down. That kind of thing. I think there can be special conditions made for people like that. And because there are different severities, there are mild cases, there are severe cases. For mild cases, you can say, okay, you can manage, you can teach them step by step. But if it's a very severe case, that means I don't want to say there is no hope for them, but you just have to find other measures to be able to work with such a person.
Nice. I think that's a relief. At least there's something that can be done to manage it. That's a big relief. So now let's move on to the next one. This one is quite common. I think so many people have heard of it, but they don't know exactly what it means, and that is dyslexia. My teeth, I just the name sounds difficult, even as the different, so that's dyslexia. Yeah. So what can you tell us about dyslexia?
Dyslexia, it's a lot. It's like an umbrella for so many things. Sometimes it has to do with their auditory processing, their sensory processing. They have difficulties reading. I think that's the main one that you should know. It has to do with their letters. They also have difficulties spelling, and the speed at which they read to be quite slow, because it's as if they are picking their words one after the other, and then the accuracy at which they read, they will see something, but they can't. They might see some words together, but it's just not forming anything in their head. And I think it's something that you can relate to an extent. Sometimes when you are looking at a word for a very long time, you say like as if the spelling is not correct again. If it does happen to me, like as if the spelling is already starting to change in my head, but the spelling is actually still the same. So I think it's very more common with them, because like everything just starts to scatter and they cannot interpret based on letters, like letters joined together. So I think that's what dyslexia is.
Well, difficulty reading, right?
Yes.
Wow. So I was reading something online. Like years back. So the person said that person made reference to this popular scientist Albert Einstein.
Yeah.
So in the article she said that he was diagnosed of this same dyslexia, that not until he changed school, that was when he developed a creative way of reading stuff and then creative writing or creative thinking. So I know it is something that is popular, like I said at first. So some people have had it before and they still turn out to be successful later. So how can it be managed so that people that feel like, okay, I have it as you're saying it now, they won't lose hope or they won't be frightened? How can it be managed or corrected?
Yeah, if you can identify that you have a particular problem, it's like a step in solving the problem. So people with this dyslexia now, for example, the person knows that, okay, yes, I have this disease. I don't read very well. I'm not very good at reading. That's why when I talked about auditory processing, some people they have preferences. Like let's say a teacher is writing on the board, just writing. They might not be able to flow, but when the teacher is writing and talking, they'll be able to flow better. So that might be what has happened with Albert Einstein. Maybe the school is changed to the teacher talks more, faces the class more, and speaks to the class. Meanwhile, there are some teachers that just write on the board. People with dyslexia cannot follow like that. But when the teacher is like explaining and even using visual objects, like, can you see this? This is what I'm talking about. They like that, they can flow better, and it really helps them with assimilation.
Yeah, you are right. Because part of what I read was that it was more of memorization for them.
Yeah.
Memorization. These people, I think they find it difficult to even memorize stuff since they can't even read it.
It affects their recall. I think there are 4 things that are under specific learning disabilities. They have difficulty communicating, difficulty recalling, like everything is quite hard for them to be other than an average person. Yes. So but if they can work with it, honestly, it's going to be really smooth.
So now I want us to talk about something that math phobics today. I'll call it math phobic because some people are very scared of mathematics. So I want to talk about something that most people or some people can relate to. That is this dyscalculia. Yeah. It's one of the learning disorders, right?
Yeah.
So what does it mean?
Dyscalculia. I think I'm just going to talk about the symptoms. Dyscalculia. When people with dyscalculia, they have difficulties with numbers and also patterns, shapes. For example, in measurements and also estimation. Like, for example, you can tell me that that thing is about 50 centimeters. They don't have the perception of measurements. Like it's hard for them to be able to say, okay, this thing is 20 centimeters away, this thing is 20 meters away. They have difficulty measuring too. Like this thing is this long or this short. And also I said with patterns too, like what is it swirly, is it curved, is it they have difficulty. And I think they put under math because math teaches us shapes.
Yes.
And also time. They cannot tell time. It's very hard for them. They used to beat them that, oh yeah, what's the time now? That's it. They can't say, okay, the long gun is that, the short gun is that.
When I was small, I actually had the issue like trying to identify, okay, the long, I want to
So that's actually one of the problems that they face. They cannot tell time, measurement, estimation, shapes, patterns. They have difficulty with many of those things.
So how can something like that be managed?
This one I think is quite tricky. You just have to keep at it. Like for if you know you have a condition like that, just have to keep practicing. I think a very effective method is going on YouTube. In fact, YouTube, there's no time you cannot do.
Okay.
Go on YouTube and search methods to help with dyscalculia, and YouTube will really help you with different methods. Well, me personally, I'm not an expert. But YouTube, there are doctors and professors on YouTube that have released videos concerning this topic, so I think you can gain much insight from them.
Okay. But that's actually for, let's say, people that are growing up, let's say from 15 that can find their way to YouTube. How can it be managed for someone that's around, let's say, 4-5 years, those that are just starting life? What help can we render to them?
I think that will have to do with their parents and also their teachers in school. If the parent is some parents can be quite stubborn. They say, my child is normal, there's nothing wrong with my child. But if the parents are willing to work with the child and be like, okay, I can identify what my child is facing, and then work with the child. There are actually very supportive parents out there that take their time out. Like, okay, sit down, come. This is number 1. This is triangle. Can you see how it is? If they can be quite patient with the child, I think it's really going to go along, because it's also help with their confidence. Many of them, it has already battered because they are not flowing at the rate at which other students are flowing in class.
Yes.
But when their parents take extra time, they're like, nothing is wrong with you, just don't know how to do this. Okay, I will teach you, don't worry. It really help them.
Yeah. Then I think another thing that can also help is, because I remember, secondary school mathematics, angle of elevation and depression, it comes with, they will introduce a particular problem with word. They start with, let's say a man is standing on top of a hill, looking down, all these kind of things. I think if they introduce more words, explanation, before it goes into the actual drawing out the shape, the geometry and all of those things, I think it's something that will also help.
Yes, it can help. Curriculums that, the teachers should introduce curriculums that can help the students that are facing this challenges.
Well, thank you very much for that. So let's talk about the last one, which is the attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Yeah, what does this mean? Because this is a lot of words put together to form a big grammar.
We can just break it down. Attention deficit. You cannot pay attention for a very long time. You are quite distracted easily. You say, someone said you've done. You cannot focus on it.
More like someone is restless.
Yes, exactly. And that's where the hyperactivity comes in.
Okay.
Because they cannot focus for a long time, they are always hyper, always jumping up and down, like, okay, let's do this one now. They might be focusing on a particular subject now. Maybe, okay, I want to read now, and then next minute, let me just press my first one. Okay, I have not washed my plates. Let me quickly go and go. And they just so many activities at the same time, and then at the end of the day, they get nothing done. Yes, they get nothing done. So that's what ADHD is: not being able to focus on a certain task for a long time.
Well, and don't you think this has to do with a particular hormone in the body? I think there is a particular hormone that's responsible for being hyperactive. I can't just recollect it right now. Yeah, being hyperactive. So this is looking like an hormone imbalance.
You can say many of these things. It has, as I said, there are neurodevelopmental issues. This ADHD too can be one of it, but we cannot just attribute it to one. There are different causes for this disorder. There are different causes. This can be an hormonal issue. This can be a neural issue.
that connects because even it is still this that's responsible for instruct some part of the body that okay secrete this, control this. So I think it still makes sense. All right, so what's your advice now to students who are probably struggling with this disorder, this particular disorder, ADHD? How can it be? What are the strategies that can be used to correct it or manage it?
This ADHD, because in a way, everyone, most people, they suffer with paying attention to details or for a long time. As a student, most people cannot read for hours at a time. So I think it comes to discipline. If you can discipline yourself, like, okay, I have this issue, you know what, I'm going to set structures around myself to make sure that I can read my book for at least 1 hour. If you be like, okay, I'm just going to lock myself in this room, I'm going to switch off my phone.
Okay.
Exactly. So like, just set structures around yourself to make sure that you are able to focus for a very long time. That's opposed to what you normally do. So yeah, discipline is what I think.
Yeah. Then sorry, one more question. Do you think this is something that can also manifest during the early, child development?
Yes, it starts to manifest there. I think I can relate that there are some children in my primary school then that they cannot sit down in class. Even they are the ones that teacher used to beat. I said, go sit down there. But those children, they actually have issues and then they are just beating them. Some of them, maybe they even enjoy the pain. I don't know. Because after beating them and telling them to sit down, 2 minutes they stood up again. Like, I don't know, it starts to manifest from childhood, but many people don't pay attention to it. They just say, it's very stubborn, it's this, it's that. But really, it's not even their fault. So I think that.
Okay, so now I want you to advise, or what do you think is the role of parents now in all of this, in managing the ADHD and even learning disorders generally? What do you think is the role of parents and let's say teachers too?
Yes, parents and teachers should be more in tune with the child's needs. For lack of a better word, they should be more sensitive to the needs of the children, because sincerely many people can be quite insensitive. They'll be like, oh, in lesson in a class of maybe 20 students and it's one student that's giving problem, I don't think you want to. Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't want to focus on that. I'm like, still, I beg. Some even call sometimes let's say the child even genuinely interested in helping the child and they call the parent that this your child or this and that, like he's not really paying attention in class. They'll be like, hey, it's not your job as a teacher, like casting blame and shifting responsibilities. No one wants to do anything. And then the fact that there are no really structures to help all these students. Most times these same disabilities, they mistake them for intellectual disabilities, and that's with maybe mental retardation. It's not the same thing. Like maybe when somebody is dull, it's not the same as when somebody has all the same learning disabilities. It has to do just maybe one little aspect that you can actually train the child to be good at. It's not that you cannot just write off the child like, oh, like you have to focus on the child. No one is a write off.
Don't compare.
And don't compare.
Yeah.
It can take time for one child. It does not mean that the child is dull or is slow. You just need to be patient with the child. And also, if you notice as parents, if you notice that kind of thing in your child, and take the child to all these special centers. I think there are hospitals. I don't really know. They are not common in Nigeria. They are not common in Nigeria, but they are actually centers that help with this type of thing.
And they can reach out to the doctor. And also, if you are someone that you are noticing some of these things yourself, then you can speak with experts. You can speak with your parents. Then probably go to a medical personnel, or even you can see your guidance and counselor in school too. They can be of help. So we should not just see these people as so. To our viewers, you've had it all from our speaker. If you are a student and you are going through this, this challenge, don't be too hard on yourself. And if you are a parent too, that you have a child that is exhibiting symptoms of any of these disorder that we've discussed, don't be too hard on your child. What I just need to do is to consult an expert Yes, and together you can be of help to that child. So it's something that can be managed. It will not be corrected totally, but it can be managed. Together we can be the best solution that is needed. So Miss Oluwaferanmi, thank you for coming to the show. Yeah, so before you go, we actually have a little something for you, because here at Make It Make Sense with Shegun, we always appreciate our guests who bring value to the conversation. So we are giving you this as a means of appreciation, a way to show our appreciation. Thank you for coming. You're welcome. And we hope that if we call on you another time, you will answer us. Alright, thank you. So guys, we've come to the end of today's episode. It is now your turn. What do you think about these learning disorders, or these specific learning disorders? Do you have any experience with any of them? How did you manage it? So let us have it in the comment section. And please don't forget to like, share this video, especially if you know someone that this video will be of help to. Please share it, send the link to them, let them watch it, and of course subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in the next episode. Bye.